Sports Talk Chicago, Jon Zaghloul. We are back at it, segment 2 here on today's program. Appreciate everybody hanging out here with us. Another special shout out to Randy Mueller, former NFL GM, 2000 NFL Executive of the Year. He knows a thing or two about quarterbacks and GMs, head coaches, and everybody debating. Well, we got to hear somewhat from the horse's mouth about how that stuff usually goes. So he is very insightful. Give him a follow on Twitter. It's at Randy Mueller with an underscore at the end. That's the 10th time he's come on this program. We love having him on every single time he makes the time. Sports Talk Chicago here. Jon Zaghloul, John Meadows directing and producing. You miss any of this show, hit us up, sportstalkchicago.com, all the great podcasts we have over there. You can hit us up also on all of our great radio and TV affiliates. We're live all over the place. WKAN 105.5 The Ticket, ACTV, Cities 92.9 FM, WJOB, and Gen TV. 2 segments to go. Randy was fun. We have a lot to discuss in terms of Bears football. We're going to do a Bears-Cardinals preview later. I think that one's going to be pretty self-explanatory, but we will get to that. I do want to start with this, though. There's been a lot of talk over the past couple of days after that game on Sunday, where the Bears blew it again. Darnell Mooney dropped the football, so it's Darnell Mooney's fault, right? Oh, no, wait. Robert Tonyan dropped the ball, so it's Robert Tonyan's fault. That's why the Bears lost on Sunday. And that's why Justin Fields and Matt Eberflus and Luke Getsy and Brian Poles all deserve to stay because of 2 drops in that game. That defines everything. And the 2 interceptions that Justin threw, those both hit the ground, so they don't count. Right? Unbelievable, the ridiculousness that I saw in the days after that loss. Whether you like it or not, the Bears blew another double-digit lead in the fourth quarter for the 3rd time this season. And it's so funny because this happened 2 weeks ago when the Bears beat Minnesota 12-9. Everybody said, oh, they're better than that Lions loss. They're better than that Broncos loss. No, they're doing the same crap on a different week. This is the end of the season. They're supposed to be getting better. This is the end of the year. We're supposed to see improvement. Right? The whole thing is about improvement. We're charting improvement for Matt Eberflus, charting improvement for Luke Getsy, charting improvement for Justin Fields. And what we saw on Sunday was the same old, same old. Why do I bring up Sunday again? Because, as we talked about with Randy in segment 1, the Bears have a decision to make. And week by week, we're going to talk about this because it's the biggest thing going on right now in Chicago. What are they going to do? I'll tell you what. Somebody explain to me, or somebody make the case for Justin Fields after that game. 19 of 40, couple of interceptions, yearly passer rating in the fourth quarter at 62.9 in the fourth quarter. And you heard Randy say it himself, eventually, if you're a quarterback in this league, you gotta win passing the football. The running stuff is fun. It's highlight reel, fantastic. We saw a great job by Justin reverse field on Sunday and score a touchdown. But is this going to be sustainable for the Bears? Is he the guy for the Bears? And look what they have coming in Caleb Williams and or Drake May. I think we've seen enough. Whether people want to hear it or not, I know many people don't. I think we've seen enough. I think we all know what needs to happen for the Bears at the end of this season. Now, I heard a couple of people mention today that, well, the Bears don't have to get rid of Justin Fields. Well, what are you going to do then? Pass up on these 2 top quarterbacks? Or, better yet, pay him $150 million, $200 million because he deserves the extension? That's going to be a Daniel Jones-type contract. Okay, the fact is, at this point, I think we've seen enough. And it's very, very hard to continue to justify keeping Justin Fields when we see a highlight reel play and then a 19 of 40 game. In year 3. 38 starts in, career record at 8-29. And it's so funny. I want to mention this too. I saw this the other week. I got a couple of friends. I got a friend actually who hosts on ESPN Radio, does a lot of New York Jets stuff, right? They're laughing at us. They're laughing at the Bears. Everybody nationally is laughing at Chicago. And you could say, I don't care about the national opinion, but I'll tell you what. Everybody on the outside looking in knows Justin Fields is not the guy. They talk about it every single week. Why are the Bears holding on to him? Look at his record. Look at what he's doing. Every week this comes up, and yet only in Chicago, as it was with Mitch Trubisky, I'll acknowledge it, we're arguing and lamenting over mediocre quarterback play. We're begging the Bears to keep somebody who is, in effect, mediocre. It's not a lie. Look at the numbers. I guess it's because we're so quarterback deprived that we sit here and argue over somebody like Justin Fields. Oh, well, he was done wrong. You know what? Then prove to us elsewhere that he was done right. Prove to us elsewhere that he's still a good quarterback. Clearly, it's not going to work here. And when you have a decision to make when it comes to paying him $200 million, exercising the fifth-year option was going to be $25 million for him in his fifth year if the Bears choose to exercise it, and 2 top picks in the top 10 and 2 quarterbacks right there for you, this to me is a pretty easy decision. And I know no one wants to hear it. I know we're emotionally tied to Justin Fields one way or another. I'm not, but other people are. The fact is, he's going to need to go. And people have to accept that now, because if you accept it now, you're going to be excited for the new quarterback coming in, like Caleb Williams or Drake May, who has upside. You reset the quarterback clock in terms of salary. This team overall is getting better in terms of talent, in terms of defense, in terms of offensive line, wide receiver. Don't tell me that there are no more weapons on this team either. He has freaking DJ Moore out there. The Bears did what they had to do. We said it in the offseason. For once, Ryan Poles actually did something in terms of weaponry. It's not perfect, but it's better. The run game's been great all year. 5 different guys running the football, including Fields. They have one of the top wide receivers in football. I heard people the other week say he's a 1B type receiver. He's 8th in the league in wide receiving yards. He's a top 10 wide receiver. And he'd have 10 times more receiving yards if he wasn't catching balls from this Bears offense. So you can't make that argument. He's a top wide receiver. Cole Kmet's actually having a career year. He's doing better than last year even in terms of touchdown catches. Receptions and yards are going to be up with his career highs right near him. You have everything you need. So what's the problem? Okay, Luke Getsy deserves some of the blame, as we've said many a time. But is it all on Luke Getsy? Really? You're going to tell me that everything that's gone wrong this year with the Bears offense, every single reason they've lost, every single reason there's been no output, every single reason something's gone wrong, it's all about Luke Getsy making a big mistake. At some point, we have to bring up an uncomfortable conversation, bear the burden, and say, you know what? Part of this is on Justin Fields. And this goes to the head coaching question, too, because what are you going to do with Justin Fields? Well, I'll tell you what, Matt Eberflus needs to go. He needs to be gone. That's it. He's done. I've had enough. You know, for a week there was some talk, right? For a week there was like, well, maybe they've turned a corner and Matt Eberflus is going to stick around. Hell no, he's not. Okay, and last week proved it. This is the third time this season the Bears have lost games leading by 10-plus points with 10 minutes or less to go in the fourth quarter. They lost all those games. Pretty telling. They forced Jared Goff to throw, 3-4 picks? They lost that game. They forced Joe Flacco to throw 3 picks. Lost that game. They were up by 21 points against Denver. Lost that game. Got people talking about the Bears making the playoffs a couple of weeks ago. Hey, they might get in. Give me a damn break. No way. And now we've seen it. I'm so sick of just this media spinning and this narrative that keeps getting pushed week in and week out for certain people to eat up and regurgitate. I'm done with it. Okay, we've been honest and we've been true to our opinions from day one. Matt Eberflus has had a fire under his ass from week 1 of the season. And it's only gotten worse and worse. I mean, people wanted to perceive and feel that it was getting better and better over the past couple of weeks. It wasn't. And this week proved it. There is no improvement if you do the same crap you did in week 3. This past week, we're late in this season. There's no improvement. He sucks. It's been worse and worse. He needs to go. And I'll tell you what, Justin Fields is going to be behind him, whether you like it or not, because I'll propose this to you. You're a head coach, right? You're a candidate interviewing around all these different places. You come to the Bears. You know that they're going to be 2 top 10 picks. You know the team is improving in terms of ancillary pieces, defense, running backs, wide receivers. So you come in, you're going to have to answer to the GM that you didn't really consent to, right? The GM's going to stay, Ryan Poles, president, Kevin Moore, and they're all going to stay. And you come in and Ryan Poles says, we love you, we want to hire you, but you have to stick with Justin Fields. You have to stick with this quarterback whether you like it or not. How many people do you think are going to accept the job or even accept the offer? Right? Very few. They want their own people. They want their own guys. Firing Eberflus and Getsy and keeping Fields is not going to lead to any sort of conclusion or betterment for this team. They either all need to go or all need to stay. And if they all stay, expect another subpar season next year. The Bears' position is going to be more attractive if they have the quarterback position open. If they have these 2 picks and all these coaches come in saying, wow, look, this team is pretty much ready-made. I just need a quarterback and we're going to win. The alternative is going to be worse. I wouldn't want to sign up for this team if I knew I had to stick with this quarterback through thick and thin. Wouldn't make any sense. Because you know what? At the end of the day, it's going to reflect poorly on me if I'm a coach. If I'm Jim Harbaugh, let's say. Probably won't happen. Let's say they hire Jim Harbaugh. And he walks in and he sticks with Justin Fields, and then they don't win anything for 2 years. Well, that's going to reflect bad on Harbaugh, right? Because he's the head coach. Oh, yeah, it's his fault, it's his fault, it's his fault. We're going to still have Fields fanalists out here yelling and screaming that it's not Justin Fields' fault. And then Harbaugh's probably going to get fired. And then what? We're back to square one and it's Justin Fields? Come on. In order for the Bears to get the best pool possible from coaches, they're going to have to get rid of Eberflus and Getsy and Fields. And even Randy said it, the GM, right? Fields is auditioning for another team, and I think he could succeed in Atlanta. Probably where he's going to go. I mean, they have Taylor Heineke starting the past couple of games. Desmond Ridder is officially a bust. They said it. He could go to Pittsburgh, go beat out Mitch over there, right? He can go to a number of different places where he would probably be welcomed with open arms. Maybe Minnesota. What are they going to do with Kirk Cousins? Josh Dobbs isn't the answer. Nick Mullins is certainly not the answer. Maybe over there. There are going to be situations for him to sign a 1-year deal, maybe a 1-year $10 million, 1-year $15 million deal, audition, earn the spot rightfully, and win. And then we could see, come this time next year, is he really a superstar? Are the Bears really doing him wrong? Or is he just an average quarterback with good athleticism? We're going to know. But I'll tell you what, I am not comfortable sticking with an 8-29 career quarterback. I am not comfortable sticking with a head coach that is literally the worst head coach in Bears history by record. Not a lie. Go look it up. Or a head coach in which we have to celebrate a 2-game win streak. How damn pathetic is that? These two are both going to have to go. They're both on the hot seat. They're both in trouble. And this weekend proved it. And that's the point. This weekend proved it. Everybody thought delusionally that they were going to make the playoffs, that things could get better, that things are on the up and up. No. Matt Eberflus, Justin Fields, Luke Getsy, this team proved to us again that we've seen enough. They imploded again in the fourth quarter to Joe Flacco, who's 38 years old and can barely walk. That's enough for me to know that Matt Eberflus and Justin Fields need to go.